We're here in the PZTV studio and we're hooking up all of the platforms. So definitely give me just a second as you are hopping on. As always, I love to hear from you guys what you're doing on this beautiful Monday and what you've got in your simmer pot and all of the things. Is it good? Good. Awesome. So we've got Instagram is live. I've got TikTok. I've got Facebook. We're getting the website is going up. So definitely there I am. Yay. Awesome. All right, so as you pop on, definitely say hello. Hi, Becca. Hi, Sherry. How we doing? How's everybody doing? Yeah, happy Monday is right. It's a good Monday, with the exception of the fact that the Texans didn't win the football game yesterday. I'm still a little sour about that. But other than that, it was a good weekend. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Hi, Josh. Hi, Holly. Hi, Janice. How's everybody doing today? Good to see y'all. Yep. This week we are talking about bourbon and whiskey. Bourbon is definitely our focus. So we're going to have a whole live today that encompasses bourbon fragrances in multiple different ways. And then, of course, we'll do the same Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're also going to talk about that. So hi, Marie. If you are new to me or to Pink Zebra, let us know in the comments. I always love it. Hashtag newbie if you're brand new, if you've never hung out with us before. I love kind of connecting with people that have never experienced our product. We are brand new consultant. I love it. That's wonderful. Good to hear. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Sherry. How we doing? I can see your comments over on the Facebook. Yeah, Veronica. It's definitely a good fragrance note. We're going to kind of do a deep dive into that here in just a second. It's a little cooler today. That's a blessing. Definitely. Hi, Heather. How are you today? What are you guys up to today? Anyone doing anything fun, interesting? Got anything exciting going on? Well, hello, Christine. Good to see you. Brand new consultants. I love it. Keep those comments coming. Definitely. Hi, Thomas. How are you? Yeah, so for the last about 4 or 5 months, we've taken behind the scent is exactly what we're going to encompass today, and that is bourbon / whiskey a little bit. And it's been such a fun way to introduce fragrance notes and then what they do for us and then some to you guys. So we are going to definitely do a deep dive into that today and then some. So if you are brand new, let me know in the comments, hashtag newbie. I always love to connect with you guys and then some. So I have in front of me an incredible 4-bag bundle. Remember, I was telling you these are going to be launched every single Monday, and they are always correspond with the fragrance that is the fragrance of the week, right? So, which happens to be bourbon. So this is behind the scent bundle. These 4 fragrances are going to kind of be what I would call the base or the core of what we're going to blend today and then some. So if you're looking to buy for a really great deal on some amazing fragrances, this would be the bundle that you would want to go after. And I know a lot of you have actually loved having these 4-bag bundles because it's kind of given you ideas. It's like if I purchase that, then I know that it blends well, or then I can blend right alongside of me and then some. You're ready for some cooler weather. It's hot in Florida. Yeah, I know. Brittany, you guys have about the same kind of weather that we do. It's I don't really mind it. I don't know. I guess it doesn't feel like fall, but I don't hate it. I mean, I love the warm weather, so I guess I'm kind of where I need to be, right? Hi, Jean. How are you? Maria is new. Awesome. Welcome on in, Maria. We're Pink Zebra. So I have in front of me a 4-bag bundle. These are wax melts that you can heat up. They're called sprinkles. That's what we call them here at Pink Zebra. And customize your own fragrance by blending. So that's exactly what we're going to do today with these 4 said fragrances. So let me run through this. And as always, I've pinned all the products. So if you're over watching on pinkzebrahome.com, you should be able to see this as a 4-bag bundle. It's live right now. So first up, you're looking for a strong fall scent. Okay, Vicky, I see your comment. I'm going to have some recipes and some fragrances for you here in just a second. So stick around. First fragrance, bourbon vanilla, warm vanilla, sweet bourbon, and oak. So definitely, hey Kat, a fantastic fragrance that is going to start us off strong. So the bourbon vanilla this is a sweet vanilla to me. It's very pretty. I love this. It's been around for a while. Oh yeah. So that's definitely a good one. All right. Second up, we have Fireside Vanilla. I have talked about this fragrance like all the time. If you've ever hung out with me before, you know I love this fragrance. This is probably one of the prettiest fragrances that we have. It's amazing with anything. Fireside Vanilla. You have notes of smoky vanilla, bourbon, and then woody cologne. This is a non-bakery vanilla. So for those of you that like, I think it's kind of has, you know, a little bit of a cologne-y smell, like a little smoke to it. This is it's just incredible. This would be right up your alley. So that's your second fragrance. Your third fragrance that is in this is Caramel Bourbon Brulee. Oh my goodness. Okay, I really pick up the caramel that is in this. First note is rich vanilla cream, caramel praline, and bourbon woods. This is a really gorgeous fragrance. This is one of those that is gourmand, but also, like you'll see as we blend it throughout the live and such, can definitely take it like more of a cologne type smell as well. So that's your third fragrance. And then your fourth, have you heard anything about mice being attracted to the soy? No, ma'am. No, I have not. I've been selling 12 years, or part of the company for 12 years, Susie. And I've never heard that. Fourth fragrance is Autumn Gathering. You have notes of warm spice cider, cherry bourbon, and mahogany bark. I love this fragrance a lot. The cherry bourbon that is that second note, that's that bourbon fragrance that we're going to capitalize on and then some. Yeah, you're welcome. So definitely a great 4-bag bundle. I know a lot of you actually have these fragrances, and as always, you're always best to order the fragrances, the sprinkles in a carton, because you do get a little bit more for your money. So you're going to see me actually blend from the cartons this week, just because they're easier to blend from, but I'll call it out whatever a certain bag is in this. So this is available right now on the website. $40, $40, right? Normally all of these, if you bought them separately, they'd be $11. So you can get all four right now. This is called Behind the Scent, and it's bourbon, okay? So definitely grab a hold of that one while you can, and then some, okay? Making sure I'm not missing out on anything. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, welcome up into all new zebras. I love that. All right, we're going to do a bunch of blending. So let's kind of, we're going to jump into this, and I'm going to tell you, actually, before we do the blending, I'm going to read you a little bit about bourbon. I was getting ahead of myself. Sorry. It's Monday. Okay. All right. So let's talk on bourbon. I want to give you some history on bourbon. And then as the week goes on, we're going to continue to talk about it. Nice to see all of you too. Where bourbon meets perfume. Okay. So that's what really intrigued me about the bourbon fragrance. So I don't know about you, but I instantly think obviously whiskey. Okay. Bourbon is a whiskey. So that's exactly where my brain goes, but I don't typically think cologne smells, which is what's so interesting about this. So bourbon, its origin, apparently it's a type of whiskey, right? We know that. It gets its name from Bourbon County, Kentucky, and it's made primarily from corn aged in charred oak barrels. So we actually I have been to Churchill Downs and to the distillery there. The name of it is Buffalo Trace. And so I actually got to see the bourbon being made in this exact same way. So that's really cool to me, interesting to me. Fragrance inspiration. The scent of bourbon and perfumery often mimics the warm, rich, slightly smoky vanilla, which is where Fireside Vanilla kind of comes from, right? Woodiness of actual aged whiskey, but it contains no alcohol. That's good. Harvest tie-in. Bourbon's corn base and oak aging reflect the rustic, hearty feel of the autumn harvest. It's very cozy, nostalgic, and very grounding. And I think that's what you guys are going to find with some of these recipes that I'm giving you. There are some fragrances that are definitely probably not as grounding that we're going to talk about, but overall, bourbon is a grounded fragrance. It's perfume makers often use that bourbon vanilla, okay, as a species of vanilla orchid originally from Reunion Island, formerly Bourbon Island, to deepen the cozy profile. Good news, if you suffer from headaches, right? And so here's your education piece. Pink Zebra we have said fragrances that if you are a headache sufferer, they typically do not evoke headaches. This is one of those fragrance notes. So a lot of what I'm going to be doing today, with the exception of some of them, I am going to do some blending with some other fragrances, but the bourbon-based fragrances like that 4-bag bundle, headache friendly. So that's really good news, right? Definitely. Yeah, you have bourbon vanilla is your favorite. Yeah, I'd love to hear some of the things that you guys are blending. I have a bunch of blends that we're going to do today, like I said, that invoke, the bourbon fragrance. And these are actually, some of these you may have seen before, maybe last year, or even, if you're just have been around for a while. But this first one that I'm going to do for you is probably like more of a Halloween type, bourbon fragrance. I'm doing great. Thank you guys for asking. So we're going to start off with one of my favorites. This is Boutacular, okay? So I'm using the infamous Fireside Vanilla. Fireside Vanilla actually came out as a Paisley pick, and oh my gosh. And when it came out, it was so popular that we actually had to add it to the line. And I think it launched in 2017, and I remember it very, very distinct, like being a huge seller. Notes are smoky vanilla, bourbon, and woody cologne. So this is part of that 4-bag bundle. So we're going to use this as our bourbon fragrance, Fireside Vanilla. And then I'm coming in, for those of you asking about a strong, thank you, Michelle, a strong fall fragrance. Fireside Vanilla definitely has a strong smell to it. That would be a good one. Plus it's also headache friendly, as well as Amaretto Cream. Creamy vanilla, golden amaretto, and cherry almond, right? And then we're coming in clutch with probably one of the strongest fragrances that I think that we have, black cherry. You guys, I've been doing a lot of blends with this lately, and it is such a gorgeous, rich fragrance. Definitely tart cherry, fruity berry, and sugar, right? Another one. This one also launched about the same time Fireside Vanilla did. And I am already smelling that. This is a beautiful blend. I call this Boutacular. So I don't have a board for you today. I will have one for you on Thursday with full of recipes, right? Full, because that vault show is big, but we're not going to talk about that yet, okay? So I'll have a actual blending board for you on on Thursday. You remember when Fireside Vanilla came out? I know. It did. It was a really popular fragrance. Yeah, I remember as well. It was just everybody loved it because it could just blend so many. Oh, Dawn says, I placed an order over the weekend. Yeah, let me know if you guys are ordering. What you're ordering so far today. Everything that I'm going to be talking about and then some, I've actually linked up. If you are watching from pinkzebrahome.com, you'll definitely be able to see that. Amy, I do see your question, and the answer is yes. Continue to check back. Funfetti Cake Batter is a signature fragrance. So it's part of our signature line. So it should restock, definitely. This is beautiful. Okay, so what I think I love the most about, well, obviously your amaretto and your cherry, like when you take out the Fireside Vanilla in this recipe, amaretto and cherry is kind of like a cherry almond type effect. Throwing in that bourbon fragrance totally elevates this. I just love this one so much. So definitely one to make. I call it Boutacular. If you want to rename it, you totally can. So this is black cherry, Fireside Vanilla, and Amaretto Cream. You cannot go wrong. Definitely a gorgeous fragrance for those of you that like bourbon scents. Definitely do this one. And I want to point out too, okay, so here's a fun fact. Right, we can customize our own fragrance here at Pink Zebra Home, right? Just like I just did like this. But if I ever make a recipe or give you guys something and you're like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like I maybe want to leave something out, then do it. Like there's no right or wrong. There's nothing that says that you are the master of your recipes, right? So in this case, if I wanted to leave out some Fireside Vanilla, it wouldn't be a bourbon fragrance, but I could just do black cherry and amaretto cream. Or I could do anything, right? That's the best part about Pink Zebra. I can do anything I want. So hi friends. That was about 2 scoops of each. Yeah. Great question, Christine. So Christine asked me how much I use. Hi Jill. I use equal parts of each one. So it was 4, 4, and 4. Okay. Cause there's 12 bags unless I talk a little too much, but most of the time there's 4 bags of 4 sprinkles, scoops in a bag. Okay. Woo! Wait. All right. We good? Okay. All right. So amaretto cream and fireside vanilla are going to go back over here. And I'm going to pull out a beautiful fragrance. This next one we're going to do is called Let the Good Times Roll. And it has just 2 fragrances. We're going to keep this cherry out, and we're gonna talk about it for a little while longer. Hi. Bourbon vanilla, gorgeous. All right, so we have basically the sweetness of the vanilla with a little bit of alluring oak. It's a bold fragrance initially, but it's very pretty. This has been around for a while as well. Very, very pretty fragrance. So bourbon vanilla is our next fragrance that we're going to talk on, and bourbon vanilla is a part of the 4-bag bundle. I believe so. Here I am telling. Yes, I think it was the first bag that I showed you. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Gosh, I hate it when I do that. Yes, it's a part of the 4-bag bundle. Okay, so this is a 2. You're going to place a carton of Fireside Vanilla. Good. That's wonderful. Hi, Jolanda. How are you today? Okay, so we're going to do a blend of the 2 of these together. And so this is also going to be equal parts. I call this one Let the Good Times Roll. This is one of those fragrances. So somebody was asking over on pinkzebra.com, what's a good strong fragrance, and something that lasts, something that's fall, whatever, what do you have? I would totally do this. I would buy a bag of each of these. That Fireside Vanilla, definitely add that up. But this is definitely going to be a recipe that I feel like you could use now, takes you all the way through the winter months and then some. Beautiful fragrance. Again, black cherry. I remember when I put that in my warmer in my office in Illinois for the very first time, and it was like it smelled and it lasted so long and smelled all the way up my whole upstairs. I got tired of smelling it before the smell went away. I was like, okay, I'm done with black cherry. That really works. That is a great fragrance. If you've used it, and this is so pretty. Okay, so this bourbon vanilla, I am going to play around with this one a little bit. I'm wondering, I don't know if I want to do equal parts to this because I want to pull more of the bourbon. So again, we're talking about bourbon fragrances today. If you're just hopping on, that's what we're doing. Woo, yeah. All right. I want you to go heavier on the bourbon. Vanilla. Heavier on the bourbon. They're going to think, what's she doing up in there? What is she? Go, look, we're mixing up alcohol or something up in here. No, go heavier on the bourbon vanilla, okay? Definitely, because I want you to be able to smell that really pretty bourbon vanilla smell. Hi, Christy. How are you today? Good to see you. Good to see all of you. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Definitely, yeah, a little heavier on that bourbon vanilla. That's the answer right there. So very pretty. Okay, this is called Let the Good Times Roll. Has a gorgeous bourbon vanilla black cherry smell to it. I would say, okay, I feel like this is like a sophistication / like pool table, like billiard type fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Like this has that really good, rich, I want to say not like, I don't know. It would be almost like a man smell, maybe like a masculine smell, but definitely could be used in any bedroom in your home. So very, very pretty. Let the good times roll. Hi, CJ. How are you today? Good to see you. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Hi, Tracy. Good to see you too. Is everybody doing good? What is up today? Is the black cherry very sweet or powerful? Brittany, it's more of a powerful. It is a powerhouse. I'm not going to lie. Wow. It's rich. Your fragrance notes are tart cherry, fruity berry, and sugar. Oh, we're going to make one more with it. We're actually going to use both of these for this next one. We're going to do a really pretty blend with this next one. So I'm going to show you how you can kind of pull that out. If you've used it, though, you know how amazing it is. I'm going to pull out my absolute favorite Caramel Cauldron, okay? I can't get enough of this one because it's just so pretty. And then Autumn Gathering. Okay, so Autumn Gathering has notes of warm spice cider, cherry bourbon. Okay, so that's the tie-in. Every time I'm doing a blend, hi, Cheryl. I always, Trinity, Texas is hot. Yeah. Hi, Teresa DeNoble. How are you? Every time that I do a recipe for you guys, I want to tie something in, a common fragrance note, right? So Autumn Gathering has warm spice cider, cherry bourbon, and mahogany bark. Okay, so that's what we're going to use in this blend, as well as the bourbon vanilla, the black cherry. And then the fourth fragrance, I just wanted to sweeten this up. Hi, Holly. How are you? A little bit. And we're going to pull in some caramel cauldron. Okay. So this is your buttery caramel, your brown sugar, and your creamy vanilla. Okay. So you see vanilla, vanilla, right? Cherry, cherry, bourbon, bourbon. You see how I just did that? I didn't even plan it that way, but that's exactly how I did that. Okay. Let's do that again. That was really fun. Okay. Vanilla, vanilla, bourbon, 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 cherry, cherry. How about it, right? So it's gonna work. It's totally gonna work. We're gonna do it, okay? Isn't that fun? Yeah. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? That's really fun. Caramel bourbon. I'm here all day. Caramel bourbon cider is what I named this one. Okay, so autumn gathering, black cherry, caramel cauldron, and bourbon vanilla. This is gonna be this would be a very good fall recipe, actually. So I have not blended this. I did this all by fragrance notes. If you're a new consultant, Kristen, welcome on in. Good to have you today. This is fun. All right, I know it's like, I feel like I could add this caramel to just about anything, and it is pure perfection. I'm telling ya. Hot in Houston. You're in Houston, Jolanda? How about it? Yeah. I feel like we've been blessed, though, for the most part. I was just talking to my coworker. He's where is he originally from? He's originally from where it's really, really warm. I can't remember the name of the place that he's from. But anyways, Cuba? He's from Cuba? He's from Cuba. And he said, yeah, he's like, we've had a really, like, a cooler summer. And I feel the same way. Like, I feel like it's hot, but it's like, what's 95 compared to 101? It's like, it's still hot, right? Definitely. All right. So let's start off with our bourbon. Let's start off with some bourbon vanilla. And then we're going to go into caramel cauldron, autumn gathering, and then this is the black cherry. Okay, so I called this caramel bourbon cider. Caramel bourbon cider. Thank you, Pink Zebra Home. So if you are watching whatever platform you guys are watching from, they're trying to do their best to comment the recipes and so I can see it over on the Book of Faces. I can also see it on the TikTok, and I can see it on pinkzebrahome.com. Yes. Okay. We're going to do this one a little bit different, just like I did the last, because, like I said, that black cherry, if you are looking for strong, that is your fragrance, okay? But it's, you just ordered the 4 bags and the black cherry. Awesome, Michelle. Hi, Paul. Awesome. Yeah, that's so pretty. Yeah, I really, really like that a lot. Okay. This is one of those that the sweetness with the caramel, the vanilla, the bourbon, all of that. And then what's so intriguing to me is this fragrance. Okay, so this one launched, all right, did it launch last week? It did not launch. It launched in, what month is this? This is late August, I believe. I think this was the last show in August. And it has, that front note is the warm spice cider, followed by the cherry bourbon, and then the mahogany. And in this, welcome to Monday. In this recipe, I am pulling cherry, okay? Cherry from this, cherry from this. So that's why I'm saying when you're blending with black cherry, sometimes you got to be careful because it can overtake the bag. That is absolutely beautiful. So definitely make this one. Just go a little bit lighter on your black cherry than your other fragrances. Or go equal parts. Remember what I said. It's your sprinkle bag. If you want to do equal parts, do equal parts. Definitely. You got a bag in your order. First off, thank you. It was Juniper Kisses. Yay! Yay! You're snapping pics. That's always good to do too. Definitely. That way you don't miss out on anything. Yeah. This one, Patricia, this is a very pretty fragrance. Definitely. And I honestly, I'm going to tell you what. The caramel cauldron, I feel like I could blend with with about anything and it will be perfection. I do. I think it's that good. It's really, really good. All right, we're going to do some more blends. Be sure if you have questions to just, yeah, Christy, I did not do equal parts. I did autumn gathering, bourbon, vanilla, caramel cauldron, and then I did black cherry, but I'd say maybe go 3 scoops on the black cherry, play around with it. That was just kind of like how I would want to do it. You got a surprise mix? Awesome. So it's kind of personal preference there, All right. We're going to pull out some flannel blanket. Hi, Patricia. Good to see you. Flannel flannel blanket. Okay, so this is a non-bourbon scent, but I can't help myself because it's that good, right? So we talk about this one all the time. That's how you got some bags. Good. This one here is, this and pumpkin bread are my favorite fall fragrances, but luxurious sandalwood, white musk, and warm amber. It's the amber because I'm a sucker. We had a whole amber week. I love amber. Anything that has amber in it, I know I'm gonna love it. Amber and oak, that one, another one. Definitely do yourself a favor. If you like amber, go after the amber fragrances. That one just makes me happy. So good. All right, we're gonna take that flannel blanket. My bourbon scent is bourbon vanilla, and I have another bourbon scent, fireside vanilla. Remember, the two of these, the fireside and the bourbon vanilla, are part of that 4-bag bundle. That's a really good bundle. That 4-bag bundle is awesome. Last week's 4-bag bundle, though, was that pumpkin spice? Yes. My days were running together. Pumpkin spice bag bundle. Holy cow. That was such a good one. I was like, wow, that was a really, really good one. Yeah, you love it too? Good. Sorry, I need to take a break for a second. Hold tight. Okay, so let's do a blend with this. Love this blend. This is called Cabin Glow. Okay, so I feel like we could probably go equal parts with this one. I absolutely love that flannel blanket. So when I blend this, sometimes I might go a little bit heavier on that fragrance, whatever my favorite fragrance is, or whatever I want to smell the most. But we have bourbon vanilla, flannel blanket, and fireside vanilla. Yes, Pink Zebra Home has it. Yeah, I'm going to be doing bag drops. Thank you for letting me know. Bag drops today. So if you place an order, you always have a really good chance of getting one of those bags. And I got to tell you, I creeped a little bit of some secrets. And there's something that's going to be selling out really fast, you guys. If you've been thinking about doing Scent Flirt, you need to do that really quickly, because that sand simmer pot deal where you sign up for 6 months of Scent Flirt and you get the sand simmer pot, that's going to be gone before we know it. I'm telling you. This is wonderful. That was really dramatic, but I'm telling you, this is wonderful. Okay. So remember we talked in the very beginning. You just placed an order. What'd you buy, Barb? Is it Barb or Barbara? That's wonderful. About how that the bourbon fragrances can give you a strong cologne smell. That's exactly. I almost feel like I could name this something different. That's exactly. I would like. This smells like a. This smells so good. This is like, okay, you have to write if you don't write any of these down, Cabin Glow is definitely one to make. Bourbon vanilla, fireside vanilla, right? Your common denominator, and flannel blanket. I'm thinking that what is really calling my nose in, for lack of a better word, it's calling my nose, is the fact that this has that vanilla fragrance. I love vanilla and sandalwood. And that's what it is. It's the vanilla and the sandalwood together. This is heavenly. Fireside vanilla, flannel blanket, and bourbon vanilla, and I call it Cabin Glow, but I almost feel like it could be like, I'm going to say it, like a sexy man smell. Oh, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's Cabin Glow. We'll stick with Cabin Glow, but just know, I mean, this is a masculine. This is like really, this is good. I'm happy with this. I almost feel like I'm going to blush. Yeah, definitely. Do y'all sell samples? No, ma'am. Leslie, we do not. You could probably connect with a consultant, and they would probably be happy to maybe, they don't sell them, they can't sell them, but to send you some. If you don't have a consultant, we can hook you up with one. I know a lot of them are happy to do so. Man, I'm excited about this one. Your Scent Flirt is going to be another good one this month. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Scent Flirt. That's what we were talking about. I forgot about that. See, I just talked to you guys and then I forget what we're talking about. Scent Flirt's amazing. It's really, really good. There's some really good stuff. Scent Flirt is definitely, if you love home fragrance, you're silly to not be a part of that. If you have questions on that, drop those down in the comments. We're going to keep out the Fireside Vanilla because it's that beautiful fragrance. But I'm going to show you now how we're going to take that bourbon-based fragrance and make this more of a fall fragrance. Okay, so This one is definitely one, another really, really good fragrance that you want to write down. So we're going to pull in some of those. Definitely just making sure I'm not missing out on any comments. Hi, Kaylina. How are you today? Good to see you. Well, thank you. Awesome. Yes, definitely. Go check out on the website. Yep, absolutely. Hi, Purple and Gold. That is an awesome name. I love that. So fun. Definitely. All right. Is there a vault show this week? Yes, ma'am, there is. And it's really good. And we can't let any secrets out until maybe Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe. Some good stuff coming, right? I'm just seeing what y'all are ordering. If you do order, let me know in the comments. I always love to hear from you guys. Always have a good chance at one of those bags that I'm blending today and then some. So, okay. All right. Is the banana loaf strong? You know what, Christine? I don't know. Yes. Medium, middle, it's not going to run you out of the house, but yes, I would say it's considered a strong fragrance. It's very, very gourmand and it's very, very delicious. So if those of you that have tried she's asking about the banana loaf, spiced banana loaf. Sorry, I had to remember what it was called. Spiced banana loaf. Maybe drop that down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. You just ordered before the live. What'd you buy, Phyllis? That's exciting. Yay. Okay. All right. So we're going to do some blends with my ever so favorite pumpkin bread. So that's what we're going to add into this fragrance. So pumpkin bread is very gourmand, very gorgeous, very awesome. It happens to be my favorite, probably my second, I'd say first, probably my first favorite fall fragrance. I don't know. It's tied. This and flannel blanket, and I was just talking about that just a little bit ago. All right, so pumpkin bread, fragrance notes are spiced pumpkin, clove, and warm cinnamon. We're going to take that and blend with this Fireside Vanilla. Remember, the Fireside Vanilla is part of that 4-bag bundle, so definitely. You're going to order on Tuesday? Okay. Is this in the vault? Nope. The vault is Thursday's show, okay? Thursday's show. You got a mystery box? Awesome. Oh gosh, this was one of the first fragrances I ever purchased, and it still makes me smile. Warm apple pies. This is called Hello November. So baked apple, warm brown sugar, and cinnamon. So warm apple pie, Fireside Vanilla, and pumpkin bread. That is called Hello November. It is absolutely wonderful. You'll love it if you're looking for a good fall fragrance. But this is a prime example of how we take that bourbon fragrance and blending it with the food, the gourmand scents. It makes it more of a comforting fall smell, like that you would typically experience in the fall, right? So that's exactly what we're going to do here. Hello November. So Kaylina said she did a blend of vanilla sage, orchard breeze, and sugarberry, and she called it Frost at the Farm. How about that? Okay, so two fresh fragrances, a little bit of lighter vanilla from the vanilla sage, and then that sugarberry harvest has that really pretty jam smell to it. I bet that was really good. So yeah, I did share, I think it was on Friday's live, I shared that fall confetti 2.0, and a lot of you have been making it since we talked about it and we shared it. I actually melted that at my house over the weekend, and I'm in love with that too. So definitely a good one. If you missed out on that, I would say check socials, because I think we shared that to our social. Very, very pretty fragrance. Definitely one that you don't want to miss. All right, so Hello November, 3 fragrances. I feel like we're going to go equal parts because all 3 of these have a very strong smell to it. Definitely really, really strong. You got up some, golly, okay, this is, yeah. I gave you guys some really good fragrances today, really good blends. All right, if you have the means to do this right now, I want you to blend this. If anyone's out there, I just out of curiosity, let me know, because I love this one. I say that about them all. I'm sorry. It is true. I'm not steering you wrong. Like, I really do like what I give you guys. Look how pretty this is. Have a good day. Yes. Okay, so very fallish. You got the comfort of the bourbon smell, the vanilla that is in this. Fireside vanilla is your bourbon smell. And then anytime you mix the two of these together, this is warm apple pie and pumpkin bread. It's always perfection. It's definitely one to do. Veronica said she ordered 4 cartons of Fireside vanilla and one of the bundles. Yeah, that bundle's good. It's a really good bundle. You won't be sorry. What I think I love the most about that bundle, though, is that all 4, well, like most of them, all 4 of those fragrances are just really, really good fragrances just by themselves. But you could blend all of them together to create your own. And like that's typically like my goal whenever I come up with those bundles. But that's just a really good one. Last week's was really, really good too. Last week's was probably my favorite, but because I had pumpkin bread in it. So, I love this, my friends. This is a home run. Woo-wee! Anyone making this? Come on, somebody's out there in Sprinkle Land's gonna make this right alongside me. I know you're out there. Josh says, I'm excited to get my order. I got Winterwood's Vanilla Noir and then some oils. Ooh, mix up that Winterwood's with the Vanilla Noir. That's good too, definitely. Yeah, that's happiness right there. All right, one more time. We're gonna do a little bit of vanilla or warm apple pie and then some pumpkin bread. Hello, November. Yay. That's a good month because that's my birthday month. Anyone else out there? My birthday is in November. So, hello, November. Named perfectly, right? Okay, definitely make that one. All right, so we're talking about bourbon today in case you're just hopping on and you've never seen Pink Zebra before. I'm Beth. And I go live Monday through Friday right here in PZTV studio. And so we're always talking about a fragrance note. I'm talking and mixing sprinkles. So I don't know if anyone that is on the TikTok, November's your birthday. What day, Julie? Mine's the 19th. Woo! Lots of November birthdays up in here. Yay. Awesome, awesome. Hello. Oh, Sherry said, I just blended Hello November and it smells awesome. Yes, Sherry. That's I think I'll keep that one type fragrance because it's that good. We are talking about bourbon. Bourbon, typically in bourbon said fragrances, you're going to have, obviously, we always have 3 notes, top, middle, and bottom. Okay, so your top note is warm spice, dried fruit, and smoky wood, followed by your heart or your middle note, vanilla bean, caramel, and cinnamon. See, okay, how about that? I gave you a fragrance with that caramel. Okay, so we know it pairs up well with it. And then your base is typically oak, tobacco leaf, and leather. So that's a little history on the 19th is my birthday, November 19th. So definitely, I'll start taking gifts soon. I'm kidding. I don't even know. You know what? Typically last year, my husband's always like, I have a double whammy because I have a birthday on the 19th and that follows up with December 2nd is our anniversary. Last year it was actually doing PZTV during both my birthday and our anniversary. So we didn't get to do much of anything on that night. So, but maybe this year we will. All right. So this next one is another really interesting. Somebody was talking about Winterwood's. Fantastic fragrance. Perfect for the upcoming winter season. If you don't have this one, I highly encourage it. It's very pretty. It's definitely got your winter smell to it. But again, amber is your front note. Okay, so that's probably why your girl loves it here. Amber, golden amber, cedarwood, and sandalwood. It's perfection. Okay, and so then we're going to take that Fireside Vanilla. We've been doing a lot with that lately. Okay, and then my third fragrance is Rustling Leaves. Listen. What is amazing about this is everything. This fragrance is life. Such a gorgeous fragrance. Aromatic leaves, crisp autumn air, and sprinkling woods. So the 3 of these are going to combine. Again, this is our bourbon fragrance. It's the Fireside Vanilla, but this is called Last Campfire. So we're going to take and blend all 3 of these together. You're going to have a freshness with both the winter woods and the rustling leaves here, which is what I love about this fragrance. That's why you got it. Yeah. Josh, I've got all kinds of amber scents for you then. You just ask away. You need to get some flannel blanket in that collection too. Cause if you don't have that one, that's definitely, that's my favorite amber fragrance and then some. All right. So we're going to start off with some winter woods. I'll do 2 scoops. I'm going to do 2 scoops of that. Then I'm going to do, I might have to add my bag to this. 2 scoops of the Fireside Vanilla and then 2 scoops of the Rustling Leaves. Okay, Last Campfire. I'm flinging sprinkles everywhere, my friends. Okay, we're gonna add up, this is part of that 4-bag bundle is that Fireside Vanilla. So I'm gonna take that bag and actually add that to my carton because they are a little easier. This is wonderful too. Last Campfire, Fireside Vanilla, Rustling Leaves, and Winter Woods. Definitely one to make. All right, hold tight. Hold, please. Very pretty, fresh, but also you're going to get a warmth from the bourbon that is in this Fireside Vanilla here. Okay, Fireside Vanilla, smoky vanilla bourbon and woody cologne. Okay, and then you have the complement of the Winter Woods. And remember that Winter Woods has amber as the front note in it, and then cedarwood and sandalwood. So definitely all three of these combined to make Last Campfire. This is another one definitely want to make. Definitely do yourself a favor and make this one. So I'm currently burning Rustling Leaves. Oh, I know, Lizette. You know, that's just one of those fragrances that we had another well, here, hold tight. This fragrance here, Silver Birch and Air, came out on the last PZTV. And I feel like I've said this a lot since we had PZTV last week. This Silver Birch and Air and then the Rustling Leaves, they both give you that aromatic, like it's like a deep breath freshness. And so this is another one of those. I think I have some recipes that we're going to use that scent in. Another very pretty fragrance. This is so stunning. We could totally add. Actually, it's the next one. So the next fragrance that I'm going to give you a man cave smell. How about that? I'm giving you a man cave mix there. All right. So Rustling Leaves and then Fireside Vanilla and Winter Woods. Hopefully you guys have all of those to make. This is definitely one of those that you need. Last Campfire. Last Campfire it is. Okay. Let me see here. All right. So next up, we're going to do one called Man Cave. And I'm going to tell you why I chose this. I've done many Man Cave smells. This is going to be probably the latest Man Cave smell. We're going to put away the Fireside Vanilla. All right. And we're going to pull out manly smells for this one. Okay. So I'm going to pull out Amber and Oak. Manly Man. Okay. That Silver Birch and Air I was just talking about. Okay, and then my bourbon smell that is in this one is the Bourbon Vanilla. Okay, Bourbon Vanilla. Okay, so this actually has 4 different fragrances in it. I was just talking about this one, and it gives you like that, that it opens you up. It's like that. If you've smelled it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very pretty, very fresh, very awesome fragrance. Silver Birch and Air, Silver Birch Needles, White Pine, and Frosted Musk. We're going to mix in a little bit of this Manly Man with it, okay? Manly Man, your front note is Watery Musk, White Iris, and Moss Woods. You're going to see where I'm going with this, okay? And then Amber and Oak, you have Sweet Tobacco, Night Blooming Jasmine, and Vanilla Amber, okay? And then last but not least, we're going to blend in Bourbon Vanilla. That's our bourbon fragrance, okay? So this is going to be a really pretty man smell, but probably not heavy. I wouldn't say like, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I actually paired all 4 of these up without blending them. I just did it based on their notes. Let's see. Do I think Moment of Calm will be coming back soon? I do. Marcia, Moment of Calm is from the Signature line, so continue to check back on the website, and then you'll see, you should see it. Are there fragrances that are core that will always be available? Yes, Josh, that's a fantastic question. So we do have a list of fragrances that if you go over to actual pinkzebrahome.com and you can filter through, it'll say Signature. That will give you our current list of signature items. I will tell you though, that as typically twice a year, so as the season shifts, like right now we're in fall, winter, as we shift to spring, summer, like come January, that list might change. Sometimes it can change, so just depends. You always just want to check it, periodically check it, but for the most part, all of those fragrances, we would make an announcement if a fragrance is gonna be discontinuing from that list. So definitely. All right. Yep. I like this. That's really intriguing. All right, look at the colors. All right, the colors are what I'm a sucker for. So good. All right, so this is really fun. What I think I like about this is, like I said, it's got the watery freshness from the Manly Man and then that Silver Birch. And then you come in and it warms it up with the bourbon vanilla and the amber and oak. Hi, Marissa. How are you today? Good to see you. Yes, this is so fun. Definitely one. Okay, make this. So amber and oak, manly man, bourbon vanilla, and silver birch air. This is called Man Cave. Man Cave. You could go heavier on any of them if you want it to smell a little bit stronger like amber and oak. Definitely. You need some patchouli. Okay, yes. We have had patchouli fragrances often. I was just having a conversation with somebody last week about patchouli. So patchouli is one of those that a lot of people think, I love talking about patchouli because you think ultimately you either love it or you hate it. But surprisingly enough, patchouli is in a lot of like fragrances like perfumes and men's colognes, and it's hidden in things where you wouldn't typically think that you would love it. So a lot of us actually do love patchouli and didn't realize it. I'm kind of one of those people. Definitely. Hi, Christy. How are you? Yeah, this is good. It's really good. Yeah, give that one a try. Let me know what you think. And this one, like I said, you could play around with it. I think it would definitely work if you omit the bourbon vanilla and replace with fireside vanilla. I think I might even like it a little bit better. I like it a lot though. Is there a difference between rustling leaves and bark? Big difference, Tammy. Yes, there is. Yeah, those are two completely different fragrances. Okie dokie. So, yes. All right, we're going to continue on. I'm going to give you a coffee blend. I can't help myself. I love coffee smells. So if you like coffee smells, this is going to be right up your alley. So we're going to pull out pumpkin and bourbon cream. Pumpkin and bourbon cream. That is our bourbon fragrance for this one. This is also a part of, actually, pumpkin bourbon cream is not a part of the 4-pack bundle, but it's that good. So definitely have to grab it. We're going to pull out espresso martini, pumpkin and bourbon cream, and then caramel cauldron. And we are going to make bourbon martini, a bourbon martini. Will oat milk and almond blossom ever come back? That one was in only body. Oh no. If that's saying sold out, it probably won't. What was last campfire? You should be able to scroll the comments, I think, but it's last campfire was fireside vanilla, rustling leaves, and winter woods. So if it sells out, if a fragrance sells out, just typically, it doesn't, sometimes it does return, sometimes it doesn't. If it's signature, then it always will be available. But if it's like something like, okay, for example, that amber and oak that I just had out, I would get it because there's no guarantee, right? Because if it does sell out, that sort of thing. All right, espresso martini, coffee, sweet cream, and chocolate, okay? Espresso martini. And then we're going to come in with pumpkin and bourbon cream, which has your bourbon vanilla, caramelized brown sugar, and maple whiskey, and then caramel cauldron. So bourbon martini is the name of the game. That is what we are doing. Very, very pretty fragrance. Very, very pretty blend. I've made this one before. Definitely good. So if you are a lover of coffee fragrances, it's going to be right up your alley. Yes. Look, what's your favorite fall scent? Oh my gosh. Pumpkin bread, I don't know. I want to say tie because pumpkin bread and flannel blanket are both my favorite fall scents. And then I love to mix them with about anything. But I'm really, really fond, too, of this caramel cauldron. I like a lot, if you want to know the truth. I feel like you need Beth bag bundles. Yep, that's it. Make that one. That's really good for your nose. Okay, espresso martini, caramel cauldron, and pumpkin bourbon cream. Yum. What would we put in a Beth bag bundle? You mean where you could purchase the mixes? Is that what you mean, Jennifer? That'd be fun. I just don't know how I would do that. I mean, that's a great idea, though. That is. Yes, I'm new and I'm so glad to be here and learn how to combine scent. Danielle, we are so happy that you're here. We have a ton of new consultants here at Pink Zebra Home. So definitely, if you're one of those new consultants, definitely drop down in the comments, hashtag newbie consultant. We would love to hear from you. I love to support. Definitely. That is so awesome. So happy y'all are here. This is a great way, always ask questions, kind of to figure out what blends with what. But, as far as blending goes, there's no right or wrong. Anything works. Whatever you typically like, that's kind of what I do. I'm like, okay, well, I love caramel and I like apple and I like pumpkin. They're probably going to blend together. Is that a strong coffee scent? To answer your question, yes. Espresso Martini is very strong and very good. Yes, very, very strong. It's actually really pretty. You mentioned CNC Sprinkles is going to come back. CNC... It was a sneak peek. I'm assuming for the vault show. CNC Sprinkles. CNC. Oh. Yep. I know what you're saying now, Bev. Yep, that was a sneaky peeky. Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. You caught me off guard for a second. I had to think about what that fragrance was. The CNC. I like this one. If you like coffee smells, go get this. This is good. Definitely good. All right. Okay, so what else are you guys ordering? What anyone else places orders today? What are you guys liking to blend lately? That Fall Confetti 2.0 was definitely a home run. If you missed out on that, I think you still should be able to see that from socials. Definitely go over and look at the website. Now we have 2 bags that don't have names on them. So let's just kind of come up with some new blends and then some. Cashmere Cedar. Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. Yes. That might have been a sneaky peek. It definitely was. What do you guys want to see? What are some blends that you're fine. What are some blends that you want to see? You ordered the Fall Seasonal Blend Bash. That's a really good blend bash. Yes. Okay. So if we were going to take like any of the fragrances that I've got over here, what do we want to blend with? Hi Kima. Good to see you today. We just got 2 bags that need to have recipes. So I was going to do some more blending with you guys. What would be a good pumpkin and apple blend that would be fun? Josh, I have the perfect blend for you. Let's see if we can make it bourbon. Okay, that's a good idea. This is like kamikaze sprinkle. Take this scent and see what you can do. The 2 of these are fire together, right? So what I have in front of me, these mix beautifully. So you've got pumpkin bread and warm apple pie, okay? The 2 of those together. That's your pumpkin and your apple. I could do a clean one here in just a second. Pumpkin and apple, right? And then if we wanted to make it bourbon, do you want to make it a bourbon smell or do you just want to make it pumpkin and apple? Because the 2 of these are perfection by themselves. Definitely really, really good. Yes. So we can do the 2 of those together or we can add in a bourbon fragrance. I almost feel like we should add in a bourbon fragrance. Definitely. Whatever you want to do. But those, trust me on that, pumpkin bread and warm apple pie, all day long. If I'm looking for a good fall blend, I do the 2 of those and throw in a little pinch of cinnamon spice, and that's chef's kiss. I want to put in a bourbon smell. We could do some pumpkin bourbon cream with this, or we could do some, let's try that. Okay, let's just try that. All right, so we're gonna make a blend, pumpkin bread, warm apple pie, and then I have pumpkin and bourbon cream. You got it. All right, good. All right, so we got pumpkin bread. If you guys get this one, I'm not naming it. Pumpkin bread, warm apple. It takes me a while to name these because I'm not good at it. I mean, I'm just saying, right? I always say stick to what you're good at, and I'm not good at naming. Pumpkin and bourbon cream. Then pumpkin and bourbon cream. All right. So that's got 3 fragrances in it. This is going to be kind of like an apple, I would say apple bourbon, apple pumpkin bourbon. Apple pumpkin caramel bourbon, caramel apple pumpkin bourbon. You see what I mean? You love pumpkin bread and warm apple pie? Yeah, it is so good. Hey, Good, Jen. I love it that you love it. Yes, I do this every day, Monday through Friday. We always, sometimes we're on here for the Vault Show, which is what we're going to do on Thursday, which is really fun. You definitely need to tune in for that. Sometimes we're talking behind the scent. That's what we're doing today. We're talking about the fragrance Bourbon. We'll be talking about that again tomorrow, and I'll have more ideas, probably more clean, fresh blends for you, because today I think I did more heavier, wintry blends, cologne type blends. So we're going to do a blend of pumpkin bread, warm apple pie, and pumpkin and bourbon cream. Okay, so yeah, whatever you want to name this, Pink Zebra Home has that dropped down in the comments. 3 different scents in this one. Your bourbon fragrance is your pumpkin and bourbon cream. So definitely good. Okay, you blended pumpkin bread, spiced banana loaf, and warm milk and honey. I bet that was good. Macy, that smells so good. Okay, I like that with that is really pretty. That pumpkin and bourbon cream that's in that is really, really pretty. Definitely, this is a winner. So here you go, Josh. This one was kind of for you. Definitely. So pumpkin bread, warm apple pie, and then pumpkin and bourbon cream. We're going to go around a couple more times, definitely. Make a full bag of this. So I did not name this, so definitely have to name it if you guys make it. That's really good. Bobbin pumpkins and apples. That'd be good too. That's a really pretty fall blend right there. All right. Hold tight just a second. Got to move the puzzle piece. Oh. Okay. Definitely. All right. You rejoined the family? Amanda, welcome back. So glad to have you. So glad to have you. Yes. It's a great time to join, you know. It's definitely wonderful company. I just celebrated 12 years on Saturday. 12 years of being with Pink Zebra. Can you guys believe that? I cannot. My youngest child was 6 months old when I took the leap. So definitely life-changing. All right, I'm going to give you another fresh fragrance that we're going to come up with. This is not going to have bourbon in it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a fresh, non-bourbon fragrance. And I think it's going to work. Okay, so we're going to come in strong with these three. Let me think if I want to add anything else to this. I don't think so, but let me make sure I have it. You know, occasionally I do this and then I forget that I've already made it. I've done that before too. All right, I am going to use a bourbon smell. I'm going to use a Fireside Vanilla. Okay, Fireside Vanilla. This is fresh. Okay, so somebody was liking fresh. Yes. Boo bread. Good. Awesome. Fireside Vanilla, Silver Birch and Air, Winter Woods, and Flannel Blanket. Okay, so for those of you that like fresh, if you want to omit the Fireside Vanilla, I threw that in at the end. Then it would be a lot fresher. You know what? All right, let me try it without. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I want to try it without. Okay, so we're going to just do the 3 of these because I can't remember who said they wanted a clean fragrance. Barbara did. All right, so I've got Silver Birch and Air. So if you're looking for like really fresh, not like clean laundry smell, this would be right up your alley. Winter Woods, and then Flannel Blanket, which is, in my opinion, is fantastic. I love it so much. I mean, oh, it is so pretty. All right. So I don't know what we would call it, like winter blanket maybe, winter Afghan, something like that. What can I mix with peppermint mocha? Oh my goodness, so many things. Espresso martini would be really good with it. Definitely. Let's see. I'm with Lindsay Gorski. I just live outside of Sugarland. Oh, yay! Yeah, you're not far from us at all. I live outside of Sugarland too. I'm in Missouri City. So we're going to do 2 scoops of the Silver Birch and Air, 2 scoops of Winter Woods, and then 2 scoops of Flannel Blanket. What best sprinkles blend well with fresh scents? You know, fresh is fairly safe, Brittany. This is a fresh blend that I'm giving. Very, very fresh and very clean. Flannel Blanket, Winter Woods, and Silver Birch and Air. That is absolute perfection. So pretty. So pretty. Fresh Air Care is another one if you like a good fresh smell. Definitely check that one out, because what I love about that fragrance is that has that Air Care odor eliminating technology where it actually takes out the odor that the malodors that are in the air. So definitely. Okay. Yep, this is it. Woo, that's good. All right, flannel blanket, winter woods, and silver birch and air. I love it. Definitely do this one. Really, really pretty. This complimentary, the silver birch and air and the winter woods, the two of those together, that I think that would be fine by itself. But you throw that flannel blanket in there and that just totally elevates that recipe so much. All right, my friends. Yeah, definitely make it. Okay. So that was the end of the blending today. I had 10 blends that I gave you, so hopefully you guys love that. I definitely love hopping on here and sharing all of these amazing products. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to go out on a limb here, okay? I want you to lean in. Okay, so I have a whole studio right now. They left me alone. I do. I have a whole studio of all of the things that we talked about on PZTV on Tuesday. So the fall fragrance or the fall items, I kind of want to just show and talk about. But let me just tell you that after, I would say, like either today or tomorrow, like this stuff is going to not be here anymore. So if there's anything that anyone wants to see, I would love to show. We had such an incredible show on Tuesday. So many amazing things. So if you missed it, I know I still have to grab one of these. Look at this guy. How cute is this? This one did not launch on Tuesday, but I just think it's so cute. But this guy did. All right, so definitely gorgeous. All of these products are still available on the website. This is the Autumn Forest Simmering Light. Look at the birch trees with this one. I'm going to shut that off. You know, here at Pink Zebra Home, we have 2 different warmers. So what I just showed you, 2 different ways to melt your sprinkles, right? So you have what we call a simmer pot and a simmering light. I'm going to turn that guy back on because it's too pretty not to, right? So simmering lights actually heat with a light bulb that you could see right there, okay? And then your sprinkles are going to set in the dish that's right here. And then that's actually you can either accent them with what we call an accent shade or leave it just as it is. And then your simmer pot that is right here, that actually heats with a hot plate, okay? So there's no light bulb with that one. And that is the Rustic Pine Simmer Pot, this guy is. Both of them are available on the website and both very, very pretty. A lot of detail in that one. If you're somebody that has maybe a rustic home or if you just like rustic decor, it'd be right up your alley. Woodsy, I could see it in a cabin somewhere. So definitely. Try Acorn Spice and Leaves, Farmhouse Cider, and Caramel Cauldron. Ooh, I bet that is delicious, Kaylina. Acorn Spice and Leaves, Farmhouse Cider, and Caramel Cauldron. Wonderful. I bet that would be so good. You want to see the Pumpkin Paws shade? I can show that. I don't know that it is, actually, I can't show that. It's actually put up. Pumpkin Paws, I believe, sold out. I believe it sold out. What about the Gnome? The Gnome accent shade. Gnome, I don't know that I have that one in here handy either. The Gnome might be gone too. I guess I should have clarified. I have stuff from PZTV from Tuesday. Pine Cone Reed Diffuser. I want this in my home. I think it is so cute. Okay. Oh, I do have the Gnome Simmer Pot. How about this guy? Did you guys see this guy? This is Griffin. He's super cute. Right. I'm trying to find a Pink Zebra consultant who would have a moment of calm in the body wash. Heather, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know that I could help with that. I do know that sold out really, really quickly. Definitely. You just ordered this one or the Gnome, you just ordered the Gnome accent shade or the Pumpkin Paws. Oh, okay. If you ordered Pumpkin Paws, then I guess it is. I wish I had it handy. I don't. That's the one that I don't. Yeah, I do too. I love Griffin. Isn't he cute? Little hat there. And he's got, spiced banana loaf, I think is what I put in this. You like the Rustic Pine? I know. It's really pretty. I'm going to pull this out so we can smell it because I want to smell it. Oh, gosh. This is like gourmand to the T. Such a great fragrance. Definitely. Cute little simmer pot. Yeah, both of this made a return. The Rustic Pine is a brand new item. Definitely made its debut, as the simmering light that I have here in front of me as well. Lots of really pretty things. This wood carved pumpkin, I really want one of those in my house. I just love that so much. So definitely take a peep at the website. I want to show this too. This was the driftwood lantern. So we talked about this one on PZTV in case you missed it. I gotta pull that one down. I just been talking about it because I think it looks so pretty just with about anything. I love lanterns because I feel like they're just so decorative and they elevate your space so well, don't they? So definitely. Are any scents leaving soon? No. No, they're not. We'll always make an announcement. What's in the Fall Confetti 2.0? Fall Confetti 2.0. Look, if you give me a second, I will tell you, Sam. Hold tight just a second. Because I had to, let me see here. Hold on. I know somebody shared it. Okay, hold on. And I will tell you. Because there's a lot in it. Okay, so Fall Confetti, it started with the photography team that is here decided that they were going to do a photo shoot with all of the fragrances that are going to come down the pipeline, okay, from now till like the end of the year, right? And so basically they did a really fun photo shoot where they threw it all up in there. They did all this photography with it. Well, it was so good. It ended up making like this huge bucket of sprinkles. I said, I'm going to give that away and I'm going to call it Fall Confetti. So that's what we did with it. Well, it became popular. So on Friday, I came up with a Fall Confetti 2.0 and I'm going to give it to you, right? So there are 8 fragrances in it and I'm going to tell you there's a key to it, okay? Pumpkin sugar cookie, cinnamon pumpkin, pumpkin bread, caramel cauldron, apple pumpkin butter, I'll read them again, funfetti cake batter, warm apple pie, and 1 scoop of aspen pine. So that is the key to this because you have in your bag, you can only allow 12 scoops. So you want to keep that in mind when you're making this recipe. It's only 1 scoop of aspen pine because if not, that'll take over the whole bag. Okay, pumpkin sugar cookie, cinnamon pumpkin, which is like a brown sugar smell, pumpkin bread, caramel cauldron, apple pumpkin butter, funfetti cake batter, warm apple pie, and 1 scoop of aspen. That is Fall Confetti 2.0. Make it, and it smells so good. So, and that's kind of the history. Isn't it funny? I was like, whenever I got messages about it, I was like, I can't recreate it. It's like a hodgepodge of everything. So you're welcome. Definitely. Yes, it's the Pumpkin Paws is a Scentford exclusive. Thank you, Pink Zebra Home. For some reason, I thought it was sold out, so it might have restocked. Yeah. So speaking of sellout things, though, this is your chance, right? So if you have been thinking about Scentflirt, so Scentflirt items, Pumpkin Paws Accent Shade is definitely Scentflirt exclusive. That simmer pot deal will not last long with the sand simmer pot. It's I anticipate it to sell out. So if you've been thinking about it, if you've been being on the fence, you definitely want to grab it right now, right? So don't sleep on that. Definitely. All right. So here's the scoop of sprinkles. I am going to come back tomorrow and we're going to talk about bourbon a little bit more, but I'm going to give you more fresh fragrances. That's kind of like going to be the go-to. And then probably some more intriguing ones. And then Wednesday, we're going to probably talk about things that we might talk about things that we might see on Thursday. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I'll be live Wednesday as well, every day this week, and we're going to have all kinds of fun stuff. Tomorrow, though, if you are a customer, I have a surprise for you, a customer. I have a surprise for you. So you might want to tune in tomorrow. Okay. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Will they put Fall Confetti on the board? Tammy, I tell you what I can do. I'll add it up to the blending board for Thursday. And then, yes, I'll take a picture of that for you. Okay. Okay. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. So I am here. Yes, Christine, I am live every single day, Monday through Friday from 12 p.m., usually to about 1 or 1:30. Sometimes I go on a little bit longer. So you're welcome. I love it. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys are the best part of my day. So I will see you tomorrow. As always, have a good day. Bye.